What is up, everybody? Welcome to the first installment of Anything Comics Podcast. I recently, or I can't say recently, but um, I used to do, I did like two Google Hangouts with my friend Nelius Prime, who's also here on YouTube. I did like two Google Hangouts, and we called it, we called it Anything Comics Podcast, or kind of like Anything Comics or whatever. And yeah, we haven't really done anything lately, and I kind of wanted to resurrect that in the form of a podcast. I would love to do Google Hangouts, but I think this like is kind of a great format for it. And yeah, so there's going to be bumps in the road with this. I'm not a podcast genius or a master at this. Not yet. It's going to take a couple of podcasts to actually um, get the ropes, or get everything going. But I'm glad I'm doing this. This is pretty awesome. And so this kind of is like my opportunity to talk about this week's books or any topics that I think about, that crosses my mind throughout this video. So that's me just taking a sip of water. So yeah, let's get to the books. Picked up 6 books on Wednesday. The only book I didn't read is Trillium. I already know that's gonna be awesome. Um, so so yeah, so let's get to the reviews here. We're gonna start with, and they're all DC, by the way. So if you guys are big fans of DC like I am, here's this is a treat. So sorry, Marvel guys, no Marvel books this week. I am picking up some next week, so still kind of bummed about Daredevil and FF. Uh, those are really really awesome books, and it sucks that you know that they're ending. But there's a couple books on my radar that I really want to pick up. For example, Black Widow, I want to pick up. Uh, what else? Um, Crap. I like totally just got like my mind just went blank. So Black Widow, Silver Surfer, um, the New Warriors looks pretty cool. Like I haven't read the old comic, but the team looks pretty neat, so I might check that out. A lot of good stuff from Marvel. I'm not a Marvel hater, but I prefer DC books. But every now every now and then I pick up a Marvel book, and I seem to enjoy it. So let's get with these DC reviews. We have Swamp Thing issue number 25. Um, the cover is freaking fantastic. I love it. The art is amazing. Just panel to panel is just beautiful, beautiful art. Jesus Saez is his name. I hope he stays on the book for a long time. This is really awesome, and um, props to Matthew Wilson, the colorist. Um, you know, they're the dynamic duo when it comes to this. When it comes to the art, and I can't forget about Charles Soule. Delivers another fantastic issue. So we get the battle between Swamp Thing and the Cedar, and right off the bat, they they lay out the rules, and then they start fighting, and it's just a back and forth. Um, one thinks they've won, or Cedar thinks he's won, Swamp Thing thinks he's won, and then the final panel was pretty awesome, and it's definitely piqued my interest for the next issue, and I'm really excited to see the repercussions of this, and this is a great time to jump on Swamp Thing. To be honest, issue 24, I think I jumped on, and I read the annual last week, and I picked up 25 this week. So if you guys really want to try out Swamp Thing. I think start with 24. 24 wasn't too bad for me when I jumped on, so that's awesome. Plus another thing, like that I think this issue was read a lot better because I read the annual last week, and it's pretty fresh in my mind. When you get these month layoffs from books, you kind of don't remember what happened, and um, this wasn't this was I just read the annual last week, so it was pretty fresh in my mind, and I enjoyed it a lot. So next book, Superman Unchained. Scott Snyder, Jim Lee, and a pretty awesome cover. It's just Lex Luthor with an with an origami Superman. Um, and yeah, we have three developments here. We have Lex Luthor, tying down Jimmy Olsen, and talking about Superman, his whole spiel with Superman and how he hates him so much. We have Wraith and Superman in Tokyo battling these robots, and we learned from the last issue that Wraith is he's a person that does what he's told. So he basically told Superman, if after this is done, if I'm ordered to kill you, then I will. And Superman went back to that. He was kind of like um, wanting Ray to you know dig deep into that response, like try to get something out of him, to why, I guess, or trying to convince him not to. And then the third development is Lois Lane and this guy with the crystal. Like, I forgot who's this guy's name, or like who this man is, but he had a crystal, and Lois Lane, the guy's basically telling her to get the crystal to Superman, and you know, Lois Lane does a valiant effort to stay with the guy, but to be honest, if I was given a crystal and told to go to Superman, I'd start running like now. Like, I don't want the terrorist people to get me. So if he tells me to do something, I'm going. I don't have to ask questions. I'm just taking this to Superman or whatever. Um, but Lois gets captured by Ascension, and we get two huge developments out of this. Um, Jimmy Olsen will play a part in this, and General Lane will also play a part, which is pretty cool. Two characters that kind of represent the different spectrums of Superman's. Jimmy Olsen is Superman's like best friend, or kind of not his best. I guess he's his best friend or his pal. Superman's pal, or and then General Lane is kind of the polar opposite. Like, he wants to get rid of Superman also. So pretty bad predicament for Superman right now, and I'm excited to read this. Read the next issue. Superman Unchained and Adventures of Superman are kind of like the only Superman books that I can rely on. I might pick up Action Comics when Greg Pak starts his real run. I know he did a 0-year tie-in, but I think issue 26 starts this new storyline, so I might pick that up, but who knows. Then so we'll get to another review, get to another book. Let's see. I have all these books like in my hand right now. I should really put these down. All right. So we'll go with Superman, Batman Superman. And to be honest, I was pretty disappointed in this book. And it's all about presentation. And for me, like, I mean, once you kind of ruin the presentation, it kind of gets, you kind of think you're going to have a bad time with this book. And I definitely did. when you're reading this, you have to read it, you know, you have to read it sideways, and you have to read it like a calendar. Like that's all I could think about. Like I'm reading like a calendar or a flip book or whatever, and that kind of just ruined the story for me. Um, you know, I didn't really care for the Toy Master, and also a villain shows up that, like, I was scratching my head. I was like, how did you show up? Like, that was just like out of the blue. Um, but I mean, I guess I can't really give an accurate review. I can just really, um, like as soon as I started reading, I was like, I really don't care. And I mean, I want to care about this book, but just the way it was presented, and Brett Booth's art is, it's not Jay Lee's art. I know it's not Jay Lee's art, but Jay Lee's art kind of gravitated me towards this book, and yeah, this might be on my drop list. This might be going off the pull list, and because it's $3.99, and those 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 books have to be really good on a month to month basis, or you know, it's hitting the chopping block. So next book is Forever Evil, issue 3 of 7, and I really really love this issue. We finally get the answer of how the Justice League was destroyed, or yeah, like, or how they yeah, basically how they get destroyed. And it's pretty nifty. I didn't even know. And then we have Batman and Catwoman bringing Cyborg's body to Star Labs to his father to see if they can repair him. Um, and then like Batman sees Nightwing on TV, and the news that they've revealed his identity, and Batman's like, we got to go back. We have to save Nightwing. Um, Another thing, Lex Luthor and Bizarro, which is pretty awesome. I love the dialogue between these two. Um, Bizarro basically has this flower, or this one, like in this one panel, Bizarro has this flower, and he's like, and he just like tries to give it to Luthor, and Luthor's like, you need to do something. I told you to do something, and he wouldn't do it unless Luthor took the flower. So he ends up taking the flower. It's just pretty funny. And we also have Ultraman versus Black Adam, which was pretty cool. Captain Cold stands up to Power Man, and I think the other Firestorm, the bad Firestorm, and all this culminates into a team up with certain characters that I just mentioned, and I'm pretty excited about it. I really am. Like the final panel was pretty cool. How like this is the team that's gonna take down the crime syndicate, and I'm excited for the next issue. I really am. Like all these books right now, with the exception of Batman Superman, are things I'm really really excited, and they were all $3.99. So for that also to happen is pretty cool also. So last book, Green Arrow, 0 Year Tie-In, issue number 25. This was also freaking awesome. We got Oliver coming back, and he finds out that her mother Moira is in Gotham with Diggle, and they're helping out the people, giving them food and shelter, because of what Riddler's doing, and this guy attacks, um, you know, Ollie's mother, and Oliver saves the day, and we get a little backstory with Diggle. We even get a little sort of team up with Batman. It wasn't even a team up. It was like, hey, I'm here. I got this. It's like I got this, and um, pretty good, pretty good. I really enjoyed it. A little bit of Diggle's backstory was awesome, and I think I enjoyed it a lot more because I do watch the show, and I'm very close with these characters, and it's just really awesome to see Diggle in the comics. So there's that. So that is it, guys. This is kind of like, this is not really okay. This is like, I would think like a podcast would go like 30 to 45 minutes, but we're at the 15-minute mark, so I would kind of call this a mini podcast. Um, I really would like to get your feedback on this. Um, how did you like the books, or is there anything I can do with this podcast that could make it a better experience for you guys? This is definitely a work in progress, but it's something I'm really committed to. I'm also committed to like my videos. Also, like I kind of wanted to take a break from Comic Hall Wednesday. I didn't really get too many books, so it would kind of been, my videos are kind of like 3 minutes anyway. So if like 6 books is like a 3-minute video for me. So um, if I only had like two or three, it's probably gonna be like 30 seconds. So I didn't want to like waste my time doing that. But this is a great outlet for me to discuss a few topics, and I'm pretty excited for the future of this. Hopefully, I can make this a weekly thing. I would love to make this a weekly thing. Just spend 15 to 20 minutes just talking, because I love showing off books. I've said this in a previous video. Like I I uh, I love showing off my books. But I also have some thoughts that always run through my mind when news breaks, and I think this podcast is a great outlet for that. And I hope you guys enjoyed listening. If you guys have any questions, like, feel free to just post it in the comments below. I know people have had trouble putting comments. So yeah, definitely, give me some feedback. Ask some questions. I could definitely answer it on the podcast. And yeah, so thank you again for listening. I will definitely try to be back with a video on Wednesday. Excuse me. Talking for 15 minutes can can get some coughs in you. So yeah, so thank you again for listening, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.